From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Well, you made it through the work week. It is Friday. We're getting ready for the weekend, and you know what? A lot of great events going on. One of many is this behind me. It's the 67th annual Gem Show. You may have heard about it. Maybe you haven't. If you're into gems, you're into rocks, you're into stones, this is the place to be. This is from Saturday, 9 to 5, and then again on Sunday from 9 to 4. So if you can't make it one day, you can go to the other. So Saturday, for example, you've also got the Manton Apple Festival from 9 to 4 o'clock. So maybe go out to the Gem Show on Sunday or both days. Who knows? But this is a great event. It's free admission and just a lot of great things. It's kid-friendly, family fun, lots of fun stuff. And of course, this is, of many other things going on this weekend. We've got some pretty good weather in store for us over the weekend as well. If you've got outdoor plans, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape anyway. You look at it, look at what it looks like today on the coast and really all week long. Sunny skies, above average temperatures. Take you up north into Crescent City. Clear skies here as well. We've seen that pretty much all week long, looking at temperatures well above normal for this time of the year. And for the valley, same situation. Clear blue skies. It's still a bit breezy though at times over the next few days. And unfortunately though, as we go into Saturday, in particular Sunday, we are going to see some elevated fire danger out there, which we'll get into here in just a second. Also some cooler weather going into next week and some rain in the forecast as well. So let's take a look at those winds. Of course, as we take you into Saturday, they pick up a little bit as we go into tomorrow afternoon. But it's Sunday that it's going to be a little bit more noticeable. We're starting to see 10, 15, even 20 miles per hour in some spots here. But one thing to take note is that at least one redeeming factor of these more breezy conditions is the fact that winds are more from the south than they are from the north. Now, that's significant because typically a north wind is typically dry. And I said dry north wind because that's what we always talk about when we have a north wind. It tends to dry things out pretty rapidly. But with a south wind, it can still dry things out, just not as bad as we typically get with those north winds. All right, so let's take a look at our fire weather risk. Now this looks at three things. It looks at the temperature, it looks at the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, and number two, the winds, or number three, that is, the winds. So for your Saturday, a little bit of yellow showing up on the map here, but again, nothing to be concerned about on Saturday. And even quite honestly, on Sunday, you can see it does pick up. We're starting to see some more oranges in there, definitely within that elevated range. We're also seeing kind of here in central Siskiyou County in the Shasta Valley, looking at a little bit of some winds and elevated fire risk there as well. So bottom line is, again, not terribly concerned. There aren't any fire weather watches or any advisories or anything of that nature, but when we do have that elevated fire risk, we just need to be aware of that and take all the necessary precautions we can to prevent any fires. So we've got the big ridge of high pressure that's the dominant feature over the last few days and will be over the next couple of days. But we're eventually going to start to see this kind of shift eastward and bring in some cooler air as well. So let's talk about the overall pattern first and foremost. So what we typically have here, of course, you can see the jet stream right here. The jet stream is basically a river of wind in the atmosphere, and it's what steers the storms. And typically, we have the cooler air to the north of that jet stream, and then the south of the jet stream is where you have the warmer air. So when you have these ridges like this, that's the dome of high pressure that you hear about, the heat, right? And when you got a trough of low pressure, that's the pool of cooler air that can move on in. So what I'm expecting to happen is we're going to see the area of low pressure kind of spin around, and then we're going to see these disturbances rotate around it, and eventually some energy will break off, and we'll see some of that cooler air making its way down into Northern California as we go into Monday and Tuesday of next week. A significant drop in our temperatures, but on top of that, chances for rain, which we'll get into that here in just a second. Now that cooler air moves out as we go in the middle and latter part of next week. We have a ridge of high pressure building in, just not as strong as the one that we're dealing with now. So yes, temperatures will increase after Monday and Tuesday's cool down, but not to the extent that we're dealing with right now. And as you notice, we go into the end of next week. This is 1 week from today. We've got another little pocket of cooler air that'll be moving in our direction. Not only will it help to drop our temperatures down, but that could even bring a chance for some more rain. So speaking of rain, let's take a look at the wet weather forecast here, right? You can see a storm system here. Believe it or not, that's not the one we've got our eyes on. It's behind that some energy that's coming in. So that kind of moves up to the north. This little piece of energy will start to establish itself and get a little bit more organized. And now we've got a nice little cold front, the main area of low pressure right here. That's Sunday. So Sunday, we start to see some clouds move in, especially for the coast, but still dry over the weekend. Then by Monday, this pushes into the coast. That's where the heavier rainfall is. And as we typically see, the tail end of the cold front breaks apart, but still could hold on just enough to bring some light showers to the valley, and not to mention the eastern mountains. Now that's Monday. Behind that is another storm system that'll be moving in on Tuesday, bringing us another round of showers. And again, same situation with this as well. Heaviest rainfall for the coast, less rainfall as you head east of that. Now, once that moves out, it will dry out for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. But there's the next storm system, that cooler air that's moving in. Now, one thing I need to mention with this is, yeah, rain is a welcome sight anytime, right? This is looking at a week from tomorrow. So not this weekend, but the weekend after that. Now, this is Saturday. This is going to be the day of the annular eclipse. And in order to see the annular eclipse, you're going to need to have clear skies. And one of the things I'm concerned about is in advance of this storm, because the eclipse will happen on Saturday morning at about 9:20 in the morning, right? So when you've got those clouds moving in, that may make it difficult to see that eclipse. We'll have to kind of wait and see. This is looking a long ways out, but at least, we have pretty good confidence that that rain's coming in Monday and Tuesday. And taking a look at the overall estimates that we could be looking at here, again, the bulk of the rain on the coast. Heading eastward, you start seeing less and less. I mean, even the valley could even pick up a little bit of rainfall, but even east of that, eastern mountains, not seeing much in the way of rainfall. All right, so here are your wave heights. We've been talking about over the last week some very high waves. Not the case here as we go into your Saturday, not to mention your Sunday as well. So your marine forecast for your Saturday, south winds at 5 knots, waves from the northwest at 2 feet at 7 seconds, and from the west at 2 feet at 11 seconds. Your sunrise at 7:18 tomorrow morning, and your sunset at 6:50 with some of that patchy fog, especially in the morning hours. Here's what it looks like tonight. A lot more numbers, a lot more sky conditions out there. I've put a little work and effort into it and wanted to give you more information because a lot of you are watching this and, they want to try to get some of these other communities in here. So there you can see just a lot of numbers, but you know where you are, you know where you're going, so you can pick your number. But you can kind of see the overall trend. Of course, it's warmer for the valley, cooler for the mountains. That's normal. Cooler temperatures as normal off to the north and east. We take a look at our forecast for tomorrow, and yes, a lot more numbers, a lot more sky conditions out there. Now, what we'll notice in the valley, these temperatures are starting to drop, but it's still warm. I mean, we're still looking at least those low 90s. And in the mountains, eastern mountains, in the 60s, 70s, even some 80s. So places like Bernie, 84, but Laston Park, not bad at about 69. Head out to Chester, 79, 81 for Susanville, and 80 in Alturas. Now we head off to the west. In Trinity County, you've got temperatures anywhere from 82 to Ruth to about 88 degrees in Weaverville. The inland areas, low 90s, and there you can see the 60s, at least as you start heading closer to the coast. Trinidad, about 72, 66 for Eureka, and Garberville, about 89 degrees. So let's take a look at your trend here for the next 7 days, right? We've got the dry conditions over the weekend. There it is. Everyone, every single one of us in Northern California has a chance for rain Monday and Tuesday. Some of us just better chances than others, and others more rain than others as well. So we take a look at the valley, not a lot of rain, but you're looking at that chance for Monday, Tuesday. And really, even the bigger story is the fact that we're going from 92 on Saturday to 78 on Monday, 75 on Tuesday, and then temperatures will start to increase a bit after that, drying out for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well. And your 7-day forecast for the coast, heavier rainfall. This is where the heavier rainfall will be on Monday, and then again, another one coming in on Tuesday. The inland areas also seeing a decent amount of rainfall, just not as much as the coast. And then for Trinity County, Weaverville, for example. We'll be looking at the showers here, not as heavy. Cooler, upper 60s by Tuesday, back in the 70s by next Wednesday.